Hi, welcome to video class 1 for Gold Experience B1. Okay, today we are going to focus on the writing from Unit 7 on pages 88 and 89. But before we start that, let's have a quick revision of the vocabulary that we did last week. Okay, so first of all, I'd like you to listen and repeat. I know you're on video, but you have to repeat. Okay, are you ready? Destination, flight, land, motorway, abroad, border, check-in, delay, passport, sightseeing, take-off, traffic jam. Okay, now what can you remember? These vocabulary words, are they nouns, are they verbs, or are they adverbs? Okay, I'd like you to pause the video now and decide noun, verb or adverb for each of these words. When you've finished, play again and we'll go through the answers. Hit pause. Okay, so let's check the answers, shall we? The first one, destination, is the place where you are going to. It's a noun. Second, flight, is also a noun. What mode of transport do we use when we take a flight? Aeroplane, good. Number 3, land. Land, in this context, is a verb. It's when the aeroplane moves from the air to the ground. Next up is motorway. It's also a noun. Abroad, a different country, is an adverb. Border is a noun. Check-in is a verb. But be careful because it's also the noun. But when we use it as a noun, we use a dash, so be careful. Remember, check-in is the place you go to in an airport when you arrive. Delay, yep, this one is a noun and a verb. The next one, passport, is a noun. Sightseeing is a noun. Remember, the verb is to sightsee. Take off is the opposite of land. So land, when we go from the air to the ground, and take off from the ground to the air. It's a verb and it's also a noun. The same as check-in, we use a dash when we use it as a noun. And finally, traffic jam is the line of cars going very slowly, is also a noun. Did you get them all right? I'm sure you did. Okay, so let's move on then to page 88 and 89, the writing, okay? If you'll see here, there are 3 pictures of people travelling. What are they doing? Well, they're creating optical illusions. Makes the photos more fun, right? So, have a look at exercise 3. Here we have an advert and 3 questions to answer. Let's go through the 3 questions. Number 1, who might read the article and why? What must writers include in their article? And finally, can they give their own opinion in the article? Okay, so I'd like you to pause the video, read the advert and answer the 3 questions. When you finish, play again and we'll go through the answers. So, did you finish? Let's go through then. Number 1, who might want to read the article? Well, it's an article for people who are travelling, so probably it's in a travel magazine. Who reads travel magazines? Normal people like you and me. What must writers include in the article? Look at the second paragraph. What is your tip and how does it help you when you are travelling? These are the two things that you must include in your article. The first one, what is your tip? A tip is a good idea, a suggestion, some advice. Okay? And secondly, how it helps when you are travelling. And question 3, can you give your own opinion in the article? Of course you can. It's your good idea. What do you think? Okay? So if you move on to exercise 4, you'll see a sample answer. Okay? So again, I would like you to pause the video, read the sample answer, and find these different things. The first one is an invitation for the reader to give their opinion. Number 2, a travel tip. Remember the idea. Number 3, the title. Fairly simple. Number 4, how the tip can help the reader. And number 5, a question to get readers' interest. Okay, so pause the video now, read the article, and find these 5 things. When you finish, press play again. Okay, let's go through the answers then. So, number 1, where is an invitation for the reader to give their opinion? Well, if you look at the final paragraph, okay, what do you think of my suggestion? I'm asking what you think, it's your opinion. Number 2, a travel tip. What's his good idea? Taking funny photos, right? Number 3, the title. Where do we put the title? It's always at the start of the article. Top tip for a happy family holiday. Number 4, how can it help the reader? Well, to have a happy family holiday and so that the children aren't bored. He gave the examples of, oh, mum and dad said stand here, do this, and we always looked bored. By making funny or unusual photos, it makes it more interesting for all of the family. And finally, a question to get your reader's interest. Look at the very first sentence. How important is it for you to have photos of your holiday? Okay, fairly simple. So now it's your turn. Have a look at exercise 5 on page 89, and you'll see there are 4 typical problems that people have when travelling. The first one is a crying baby on a bus or plane. Oh, crazy. Number 2 is getting travel sick. Number 3, dropping your camera in the sea. And finally, number 4, not getting to sleep on the plane or bus. Okay? So once again, I'd like you to pause this video, and can you think of some tips, some good ideas or some advice for each of these problems? Okay? Pause now, and then we'll go through some suggestions. Okay, do you have some ideas? Let's put some on the board. Okay, so the very first problem is a crying baby on the bus or plane. Okay, so what advice would you give somebody? What tips could you give someone? For example, they could wear earplugs, something in their ear so that they can't hear the noise. Or something that you guys often use. What about headphones, so that you can listen to music, watch a film on your phone, something like that. For problem 2, getting travel sick, I suppose the easiest thing would be to take medicine. Yeah, there's lots of different medicine you can get from the pharmacies. It's the easiest way. Can you think of any other ways? What about by avoiding public transport? That way you have more control over your travel. Number 3 then, dropping your camera in the sea. I don't know, I suppose the first advice that somebody gave me was to put your phone in rice. Okay? If you put the phone in rice, it absorbs the moisture, all the water, and hopefully your phone will be okay. What else could you do? Well, instead of using your camera, you could use your phone. Here we assume that we're using the camera in the phone, but if it's just a normal camera, use your phone instead, but don't drop it in the sea. What about number 4 then? Here we have not getting to sleep on the bus or plane. Struggling to sleep? What ideas did you have? I thought about reading a book. Yep, often reading a book can help you to relax, therefore go to sleep. Or even better, why don't you study some English? Yeah, you can use this video, you can use your book. There's loads of ways to study English while you're travelling. Okay? Now, we're going to have a look at this exam tip about writing. Okay? So, writing an article. Use questions in your article to address your reader and get their interest. Then, invite comments from them. Look back at the sample article. At the start of the article, how important is it for you to have photos of your holiday? Here's the question to get your reader interested. And at the end of the article, what do you think of my suggestion? Would you do this? Is inviting comments from your reader. If you look at the Explore Language box, we have some different ways that we can ask questions and invite comments. Let's look at the first ones. Opening questions to your readers. Have you ever, plus a past participle. Do you like, with a noun or ing. How important is it for you to, and an infinitive. The second part then, inviting other people to give their opinions. Do you think that, what do you think of this photo, idea, plan? Let me know what you think. And have you got any suggestions or good ideas? Okay, fairly simple. So let's look back at these problems and we'll take number 1, the crying baby on a bus or plane. Okay, this is the problem, and let's choose headphones as the tip. Okay, as an example, we could say, have you ever had the problem of a baby screaming when you're travelling by bus or plane? Why don't you try putting on your headphones and listening to something so you can't hear it? Let me know what you think. Opening question, the problem, the tip, and then a question to invite a comment from your reader. Now it's your turn. I've done number 1. Now can you do the same for number 2, 3 and 4? Again, pause the video and when you finish, we'll come back to do the answers. Okay, so what did you have for number 2, 3 and 4? Here's a few examples. Do you like getting travel sick? Of course not. Make sure you take medication so that you can enjoy your trip as much as possible. Do you think that's a good idea? What about number 3 then, dropping your camera in the sea? How important is it for you to keep your camera safe? Make sure that you keep rice on you in case your camera goes in the sea. Always keep your phone on you in case you lose your camera. Let me know what you think. And for number 4, not getting to sleep on the bus or plane, do you like sleeping when you're travelling? Make sure you read a book or study some English. Have you got any ideas like that? You see how this becomes a more complex sentence rather than just, this is the problem, this is the solution, and finished. Okay? So, now it's your turn to write an article. Okay? There are 6 things you need to do. First, read the advert again. Okay? Number 2, choose the problem. You can use one of these, or you can think of your own idea. Number 3, choose a tip to help with the problem. Again, you can choose from these, or you can think of your own idea. Next, think of a title. All articles have a title, you need to write one. Next, choose an opening question. Have you ever? Do you like? How important is it for you to? And finally, write your article. Remember to finish by inviting comments from your readers. Okay? When you've finished writing your article, make sure you look at exercise 11 to check your work. First of all, has the article got a title? Number 2, is there an opening question for the reader? Number 3, are all the content points included? Remember the content, what is the tip, how does it help you? And finally, does the article invite the reader to give an opinion? So now I would like you to write your article. When you've finished, don't forget to email it to me. My email address is on the school website. Okay? Make sure you get that to me by Friday. Okay? And that's the end of your first video class.